And we're live here on the Sound of Manchester. Welcome to everyone. Pratmesh and Shivam, how are you guys doing?
Yeah, pretty good, man.
Fine.
As you can see, it's
Top
cold,
of
so
the
your
table.
collars are up.
It's top of the table, yes.
No
And
callers,
of
man.
course, very warm welcome to Rohan, who's making his very first appearance on the Sound of Manchester. Rohan is a fellow United fan, and we've been on touch on a couple of social media portals. Very warm welcome to you on the channel, Rohan. So we are
Thank you.
very thankful for having you here.
Thank you, Vishal. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Hi, man.
Of
Hi,
course,
hi.
the video, by the nature of the video and the title that has been provided by the team, you can see that this is going to be the preview for the visit to Anfield tomorrow evening, 10 p.m. as per Indian time.
Yeah.
But we
10
cannot
p.m.
start anywhere beyond the retirement of Wayne Rooney, which he announced yesterday, because we as a channel haven't really had the chance to react to that particular announcement. First of all, he's the top scorer, all-time top scorer for Manchester United and for England. Joined Manchester United as a 17 and a half year old, 18-year-old boy, and and left as a man who had won everything in club football, anything and everything. Completed his set of trophies with the Europa League. They're right there at the end with Jose Mourinho.
Yeah.
There's so many memories, right? It's almost impossible for me or Pratmesh or even the four of us to sit here and list down and chart
Non.
down our memories, our favorite memories for Rooney. So just to keep it a little more concise and keep it more heartfelt, I just request all of you one by one to
Yeah.
just let me know that this one fond moment, and it need not necessarily be a goal, right? Just one memory that sticks out to you with respect to Rooney. We can start with Pratmesh, of course, because this seems to have hit him real hard. So Pratmesh, you start, and then I'll go to the other two guys.
Uh, I genuinely can't sum up Rooney's first moments because I definitely I wasn't watching football when Rooney made his debut against Fenerbahce. That hat trick was something else. Uh, Obviously the first ever United game that I saw was the Champions League final of 2008. That is the one I remember.
Not a
I've
bad way to
obviously seen
start.
that. Not a bad way to start, right? And after that, some exceptional Rooney moments. Obviously, the 2006 World Cup is the one which I started watching football with. So I remember that World Cup as well. Rooney had an unfortunate moment too, but after that, all seems to have gone good with him and Cristiano. Uh, and obviously became club captain, 253 goals for the club, 53 goals for England as well. So that's if you call him one of the greatest England players ever, it won't be an understatement. A player who could play anywhere on the football pitch. I've not seen him don the goalkeeper gloves yet, but I'm pretty sure he would at least pull off a save or two. And his spirit was incredible. I recently, just a few hours ago, saw that video where United were leading 4-3 against Hull at Old Trafford, and the bald Rooney, the scariest version of Rooney probably for many,
Yeah.
tackled a couple of Hull players during the drop ball. That is what Rooney was about, right? That fight, that determination. Obviously, for me, if you ask about Rooney's best moments, there are two, one from Everton, one from United, which I want to pick. The one which I want to pick from United is obviously that hat trick against Fenerbahce. I think, um, and the Man City goal is there, which I am pretty sure all of you guys are going to mention about. But the
Yeah.
Fenerbahce hat trick was something which announced Wayne Rooney onto the world stage for Manchester United. And after those three goals, he's added 250 more, so that's fantastic. The one for Everton, which I want to highlight, is it's not the
The
Arsenal
hat
goal
trick.
where he had really announced himself, but the hat trick which he scored for Everton
Yeah.
uh,
Half
against
right.
against West Ham, and that
Yeah.
goal which he scored, the complete hat trick from inside his own half, which was brilliant. Obviously played well
Mhm.
at DC as well. We all remember that tackle and that hike forward
Assist.
to Acosta. It was Acosta who scored the
Acosta.
winner for DC.
Yeah.
And at Derby County, his two free kicks had almost ended up in the back of the net if not for Sergio Romero. So Man.
I asked Pratmesh for a moment. He's listed the
Yeah,
entire
he talked
career.
about everyone.
Yeah.
Like
So
I
Man,
never
I guess
wanted to
Rohan
talk
and
about.
Shivam, you guys are spared from all of that heading
Yeah,
back into memory
I,
lane.
I just couldn't stop my emotions yesterday. Even now, every time somebody talks about Wayne Rooney, it's very difficult to stop. But yeah,
That's the
that's,
Yeah,
that's the
Shivam,
I
logic.
just wanted to add. I
just
just
a
wanted
little
to add one
borderline,
thing.
hopefully.
Like it's a banter for the Frank Lampard. I just want Wayne Rooney to be the better manager of Derby County than Frank Lampard. He started
that would be
Yeah,
nice. Yeah.
like
that's a great segue,
Frank
isn't it,
Lampard
Rohan?
being a Chelsea legend and Wayne Rooney being a
Yeah.
United legend, then starting at the same club, managing at the same club. So we hope that he comes to United someday, a better manager than Frank Lampard.
Or at least that he doesn't need to spy on other managers.
Yeah,
Rohan,
Oh yeah.
just
Yeah,
your abiding memories for Rooney, and then we can actually start the preview.
I mean, as Anurag actually told, Prathamesh actually said that it's a Wayne Rooney had a fantastic career. I mean, we cannot stop discussing. It's that huge Wayne Rooney's career is, and one of the fondest memories I really had or will have always is the overhead kick. Fantastic. I mean, one of the best
yeah,
goals
sick.
Hmm.
ever scored by not only Wayne Rooney. I mean, one of the best goals ever scored in the Premier League, and the penalty which he scored at Blackburn,
Yeah,
where
yeah,
we
Yeah.
clinched the title, past Paul Robinson, I guess. Past Paul Robinson, yeah.
yes,
And Phil Jones was also in that game. He was
yes.
playing for Blackburn. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
So that thing was something special. Yeah, Fenerbahce, we can say, has been there. And the 250th goal at Stoke City, stoppage
Yeah.
time equalizer in
Yeah.
front of Sir Bobby Charlton. So, brilliant player. I mean, proper professional player, warrior, captain, leader. I mean, the words are very less here to really,
I
praise
hope he
Wayne Rooney.
gets
He's been
a
fantastic.
statue at United.
He
He
I don't
deserves.
should.
know.
For
Yeah.
him.
Definitely
And
deserves.
I think the whole statue concept may now be a little overplayed at Old Trafford. I
Yeah,
don't know if they will end up doing any more statues beyond this now.
Yeah.
But if there were people deserving of it, it would be Wayne Rooney, it would be Roy
Wayne
Keane,
Rooney.
it would be a few members of the class of '92. So there are,
Yeah.
and in
Mm.
fact Brian Robson as well. So he has a lot of
Yeah.
competitors there. Eric
Yeah.
Cantona.
Cantona.
So
Yes.
I mean, we can keep
But
listing names, but just my two cents on Wayne Rooney. Wayne Rooney came to Manchester United as a kid who had the world at his feet, and whether you talk about him in comparison to Ronaldo or Messi, or whether you talk about him in isolation, that kid through his feet got the world back in his palm of his hand. So I felt,
Yeah.
whatever said and done, whatever the controversies that did dog his career from time to time, that happens with everyone.
Yeah.
There was that incident in 2010 when he was about to leave for Manchester
Mm.
City, and that's probably soured a bit of his relationship with a lot of United fans, because a lot of hardcore United fans
true.
till the end never really
Yeah.
forgave him for that, till the end, for flirting with the enemy. So never forgave
Yeah.
him for that. But everyone's entitled to an opinion. I respect their opinion, and my opinion is just that, yes, of course, I was pissed off as well when all of that happened. But you got to move on beyond that, because that happened, and then he still stayed at United for 7 years after that. So just thank you so much for the memories, Waza. I mean, yesterday I honestly felt that my childhood officially died. So
Yeah.
it was just amazing to see you play and the passion that you played with. I deeply, deeply regret the fact that you were made captain, because I felt that took away the fire from you. I wanted you not to become the captain of the club,
Yeah.
because I felt like some sort of fire was taken away from you once you became the captain. But regardless of that, you won everything. Thank you for the memories, and
Yeah.
you're the top scorer of the club, man. I mean,
Yeah.
I really cannot
Doesn't
say
get
anything. You are it.
that's that
You are number
253
one.
goals.
So,
that's a
so
story his
I think,
grandkids can tell his grandkids, saying that my grandfather was the top scorer of Manchester
yeah,
United. That's how
yeah. I
good it
mean,
is.
he,
Yeah.
he he will always be at the top of the list. So I mean, up unless until Marcus Rashford has got some other plans. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
what an
But it's still
insane scenario that would
253
be.
is too much for him as well.
Yeah.
253 is
Wow.
too much for Marcus Rashford as well.
But
Well,
we never
Let's
know.
see.
that's a nice segue, isn't it? That's a nice segue into the fixture that we're going to preview now. So Manchester
Yes.
United travel to Anfield tomorrow. It's the accidental top of the table club. I think that's what we are being called now.
Yeah.
Jason McAteer said it's a false position. It's a false
Yeah.
table. Okay, that's perfectly fine. I respect
Yeah.
his
So
opinion.
is this position, right?
I would rather listen, Pratmesh. I would rather that everyone underestimates United and that United fans also underestimate United, because that would mean the
Yes,
pressure that builds on this particular team will build right towards the end. It will not
is on
keep
the
building from
rivals.
now. So I would rather be. I'm happy. I'm happy. United are underestimated. I'm happy Liverpool expect to thrash Manchester United at Anfield. I'm happy they keep talking about how they keep turning up for the big games, and it's only the smaller games that they end up having an issue with. And I'm
Yeah.
happy their fans actually have the gall to say that they hate Chelsea more than United. So I'll come to Rohan. I know.
Kushag
Pratmesh
and I
gets what
like
I
this.
say. So I'll come to Rohan there. Rohan, since it's your debut here, and what a match to debut on.
Yeah.
What is your honest opinion on the game? Are you nervous? Are you actually worried, or are you secretly confident?
It's a mixture of three things, to be very honest. And you know, going to Anfield, it's one of the most hostile atmospheres. But
There is
this
none.
game, there will be no crowds. That is the biggest thing where
Yeah.
we can take big advantage of. And I'm low key confident as well because we are in great form. Liverpool on the flip side are not in great form. Their defense is, that makeshift defense is easily gettable. They one of the biggest things is their front three is misfiring. After that 7-0 win over
Yeah,
Crystal Palace at Selhurst Park, I mean,
Crystal
I don't
Palace.
know what has happened to them. Maybe they scored all the goals in one game and they thought that we can nick one 1-0 and we can just
Klopp said ना,
that
Klopp said उसके बाद कि I would rather win 7 games 1-0 than 1 game 7-0 ना.
1-0, yeah. So
Yeah,
उसके बाद I don't know what has happened to them, and they are missing chances as well. I mean, Firmino has been just missing as usual. Salah, Mane,
2
they
साल हो
need
गए यार उस
penalties.
बात को.
हाँ, तो वो उनका प्रॉब्लम होते ही जा रहा है अभी लास्ट 3 मैचेस से. एंड अपने ये से वी आर ग्राइंडिंग आउट विंस व्हिच इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट व्हेन यू वांट टू विन टाइटल्स. दैट बर्नली गेम, proper these are the victories
Wolves.
I enjoy the most. The Wolves game, 93rd
Yeah.
minute, 94th minute, stoppage time winner. These are the games, we win titles, and we did that under Sir Alex Ferguson as well. So I'm pretty confident we can get a good result. We can get a good result
Even
provided
I
we
think the
get
Aston
the
Villa game was one.
the team selection and the shape right. If we get those things right and the personal, I think we can really get a good result at Anfield.
All right. So Meda says Namaskar Mancunians. Namaskar Meda. Namaskar.
Wow.
आप भी देखिएगा. Hopefully, we are able to provide communal
Win.
joy tomorrow. Talking about joy, Shivam. मतलब, what are there any players that you want United to look out for beyond the usual suspects of Salah and Mane? Uske अलावा, do you think there could be any players that that could actually pose a bigger challenge to Manchester United?
I think Trent Alexander-Arnold, because apna defense from the left hand side is not that great. Marcus Rashford doesn't track back. Even on the right hand side, it's the same. But defensively, Aaron Van Bissaka is more sound than Luke Shaw. So that could be one threat. Even Andy Robertson could be one. And
Yeah.
the midfield combination, because they don't have the defensive strength right now. So it may be like they'll go with Jordan Henderson and Fabinho at the back. It may happen.
Yeah.
And then only because and they lack goals because of the striker problem. मतलब Firmino के कारण तो goals आ नहीं रहे. That is
Yeah.
the reason they were looking for Werner. अभी थोड़े दिनों में maybe they'll be looking for Haaland. Who knows? But the striker problem will be always be there
Yeah.
for Liverpool.
All right,
But
Pratmesh.
one thing I wanted to add. Last time around at Anfield, Salah celebrated that way. So I wish Bruno does that.
Yeah. It will be interesting
Yeah,
to see whether
actually,
Bruno actually has abs or not.
हाँ, वो तो मतलब मालूम नहीं उसका, but
यार
it
थोड़ा
was quite a
कॉन्फिडेंस है
frustrating
इस
game
मैच
last
में
time.
जाने के लिए,
Last
थोड़ा
season I
कॉन्फिडेंट
felt,
है।
yeah,
Yeah.
last season I felt जो दो मैचेस हमने प्रीमियर लीग में उनके साथ खेले थे, so in both of those matches I felt in the second match, at least at Anfield, I felt we did not have deserve much of a shot. Also, the
1-1 was
squad was quite depleted. You had no Rashford, Pogba, Martial had just come back from injury, Bruno had not signed, and you know
Yeah.
there are 10,000 different problems for Manchester United going into that particular fixture. And still, as Solskjaer said, we lost to a Van Dijk header, Pratmesh, and
yeah,
an injury time goal by Mohamed Salah.
Mo
Whereas
Salah.
the match at Old Trafford, I felt that was one of the toughest matches Liverpool played all season, because it was
Yeah.
the right at the start of the season when they were going full, all guns blazing, and
Yeah.
United managed to eke out actually managed to hold on to a lead up until almost 85 minutes, until Adam
Yeah.
Lallana broke our hearts with
Yeah,
that particular equalizer.
Yeah.
So
we ended their record, man. Like they were winning all the games and then they drew at Old Trafford.
Yeah. And but
Yeah.
Pratmesh, एक reverse भी मैं, just so that United fans don't get too confident there, एक reverse
Yeah.
बताना चाहूंगा. If you guys remember in Jose Mourinho's second season, United for good 2 months were called 4-0 FC, because every other
Yeah.
match they were winning with a great margin scoreline, right? They go to
Yeah.
Anfield, and that time knives were out for Jurgen Klopp. They had not won a game in 8 matches or something like that, and they were really in the wrong half of the table. United go
Yeah.
and park not just a bus, like it felt like they parked an entire, जैसे होता है ना
Yeah.
बस अड्डा होता है, वो entire बस अड्डा
हाँ,
they parked.
बस स्पेशल बन गया था। हाँ।
Yeah, and they just kept on defending after defending and got a nil all. That
Yeah.
nil all led to United's absolute nosedive
Yeah,
in form,
downfall.
and Liverpool went up and up and up and up and up, and ended up in the Champions League final that year, if you guys remember. And
Yeah.
I felt that particular Champions League run was the precursor to the Champions League triumph, and which was the precursor to the league triumph. So
Yeah.
we must be wary. Pratmesh, would you want Solskjaer to go ultra defensive with, like, I heard a lot of YouTubers and a lot of analysts talking about United maybe playing with five at the back. Would you want to do that?
Uh, First things first, I feel if we do play five at the back at Anfield, it's not going to help us. The reason why I say that is, when Jose parked the bus 2 years ago, I think 3 years ago at Anfield in that game, which probably could have given us a good boost in the title race back in the day. What happened is with Damian, I think there was Damian and there was Lindelof at fullbacks as well. It was an absolute disaster performance because the whole momentum that we had back then was absolutely taken away. Gave Liverpool the ball. We absolutely hung on to the lead. I remember this game very well because I was at the Premier League live watch along event at Bangalore, and we had absolutely outnumbered Liverpool fans 10-1. And there was no way that before kickoff it seemed like Liverpool had any say in the game. And unfortunately, just the tactical setup that day let us down, and it didn't happen for us back in the day. Coming to Liverpool right now, from what I hear, Joel Matip might just be fit enough to make it in the starting 11, but he
Yeah,
might
that's
not.
what I've heard as well.
He might not play 90 minutes. So that's a big, big, big boost. Again, what happens in this case is Liverpool's defense is Matip and Fabinho, or if Matip goes out, it's Reece
Henderson.
Williams or Henderson. So in
I don't
any
think he
case,
plays Williams. I think he'll play Henderson.
if he plays Henderson,
Henderson.
then
If he plays Henderson, then I mean,
yeah,
it's a you can
that's
our
a
forwards can lick
Yeah,
lick up lick
frankly,
the lick.
frankly,
exactly.
Rohan, if he plays Henderson, the moment he puts on Henderson at center back, I would like for one of the players to be taken off, Edinson Cavani to be brought on, Martial on the
Yeah.
left, Rashford on the right,
I think
100%.
Marshall is
and
injured.
no,
He
Martial is not
No,
injured.
no,
He
Martial is
he's
going
not
to be
injured.
good enough. Martial's
he
going to
may
be good
Martial
enough
may be
to,
on the bench.
yeah,
Martial may not
Yeah,
start,
yeah.
because yesterday
yeah.
in his today in his press conference, Ole said, no, sorry, yesterday in his press conference, Ole said that
Yesterday.
he had uh, there is if I think Azan's going on at
Yeah.
one of your areas. If you could please mute, we'd like to show respect there. Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah,
So as I said, Martial seems to be a doubt to start because Ole Solskjaer
yeah,
mentioned in his particular press conference that he did train, but he didn't train up to the intensity of the first team. He did light training, and that was day
yeah,
before yesterday. So we do not know the exact status of yesterday and today. Today they may not have trained that much anyway because with the match being tomorrow,
yeah,
they may have done
The
more
yeah,
tactics.
recovery day.
They may have
The
done
yeah.
more
recovery day.
tactics and
More
other
tactical
stuff
training. Yeah,
around that.
yeah,
So, so I expect him to put Martial on the bench, and so that And honestly, I feel if you play Martial, you play him down the middle. You don't take Rashford's left spot from Martial, at least for this game, because
yeah,
what happens then is if you take him out of there, I just don't feel Martial. See, Martial is not the kind of player who's that explosive that he will ruin Trent Alexander-Arnold's life, which
yeah.
Rashford can do.
Rashford
Rashford
Right?
can.
did.
Yeah, and which
Yeah,
Rashford has done in the past as well. So
Yeah.
I hope we see
yeah.
we see our man
And
Rashford
Kushal,
on the
yeah,
side up against
yeah,
Trent, and we need just as one last point, and we need
yeah.
whoever is there on the right. We need a very very how do I put it? We need a very responsible midfielder, whether it's a winger or a midfielder. We need a very responsible player on the right who can keep an eye on Robertson.
Robertson. Yeah,
Yeah, carry on. Pratmesh was saying something.
yeah. That is what I was also thinking about at the same point. I felt this might be a good game for Dan James because his energy is something that Robertson's energy could. There is a possibility that he can actually track back Robertson.
Pratmesh,
Whether he has a
I would rather
defensive
put
acumen,
I would rather
whether he
put
has,
Donny Van de Beek on the right because at
yeah.
least even if he doesn't have the pace, at least he has the output in the end. Dan James just runs like a sprinter.
Yeah, but then again, I feel, last season too, Ole used this tactic against Liverpool at Old Trafford where he put Dan James in that team
And
specifically to, target that areas between centre back and left back and centre back and, Rashford at the left to target the area between the right back and centre back. So that is probably something that I expect. Kushagar, like, I think last season or maybe, even the game against City at the Carabao, I don't expect or I don't want Ole to put a defensive setup. I feel the exact starting lineup that started against Burnley should start in this game. Obviously, Martial won't be able to make it. Cavani would be a good addition to start the game off with. If we won't know if Matip's playing or if Henderson's playing. But in any case, what happens when Matip plays when he's not 100% is they will be entirely aware of the fact that Cavani is a striker who is capable of making those runs, and they will be glued to Cavani. Rather,
True.
if someone like a Rashford or a Martial play at centre forward, they have those tendencies of drifting away. So they won't be worried of some player actually making runs behind them. It makes a defensive job easier. When Matip's not 100%, when Fabinho is not actually a centre back, it would be the best thing to do would be to play Dan James. The reason only I'm saying Dan James is because he would be able to target that area between Robertson and Fabinho, which I feel Fabinho on his left hand side tackling is very bad, and also Rashford on the left. 1v1 against Alexander Arnold would be a good battle, and then Cavani against Matip is like almost a winner. So
but
that
will
sense,
Cavani
like
start?
Cavani should
Yeah,
ideally.
that's what I'm going to come to, Rohan.
I
I'm going
I
Yeah,
don't
to come.
I don't
Yeah,
think so,
Shivam.
Cavani.
Rohan
So
says he
what
doesn't think Cavani starts. Shivam, your point of view
So
there.
what Pratham has said, he wanted to go on with Dan James and all. So what I want is like we go with our diamond formation. That means we can have Matic
Yeah,
as well.
that's where you can
Matic,
fit in someone like Van de Beek.
yeah. Then we can play with Matic, and in my opinion, Ole will go with Scott McTominay to
Yeah,
counter
bro.
the pace.
He will go with Scott, and he
Matic,
will go with
Scott
Fred.
McTominay, Paul Pogba, and
You
Bruno.
know, Shivam, he will do this as you're saying.
man, I want to know who Bruno Fernandes is.
He's put in
I
Bruno's
did,
put in quite a few comments. I'll read all of his
Yeah,
comments. But Shivam, as Bruno says,
yeah,
we go for a 4-2-3-1 with a Scott Fred as double pivot and Pogba playing on the left? Bruno, unfortunately, I feel that may happen, but usse mujhe lagta hai you're wasting the left wing, which is the most powerful attacking outlet of your team right now.
नहीं,
Yeah.
but ये मैच में I think we should play Matic in Fred in position of Fred because बहुत सारे मैचेस में Fred को चांस दिया है अभी. Matic was very good against Burnley,
Yeah.
so
But he
that
was
is the
holding his
reason.
groin. He was holding his groin right at the end of the
He's
match.
fit. He's fit.
He's
He's
fit?
fit.
He's
Yeah,
fit.
yeah,
All
he's
right.
fit.
He's
And
fit enough. Yeah.
and like Matic also drops in as a left centre back sometimes, so that means
Yes.
5 के साथ भी खेल सकते हैं. तो it
Commentators
gives
mention
us
कर रहे थे.
it gives us a defensive boost also in comparison to playing
Yeah.
with Fred and McTominay. Or आजकल
Yeah.
McTominay going forward has been playing really well, so that means even if Pogba plays at the wing in that match, that means we have a goal scoring chance as well because Scott McTominay can break forward as well. We have seen in
Yes.
3-4
मुझे
games
यही लग रहा
now.
है कि हाँ मुझे भी यही लग रहा है कि he may go with the 4-2-3-1 with a double pivot
Double pivot.
of Fred
Man.
and Scott with Pogba on the left wing.
Yeah.
I think
Man, Bruno is
I
having some
think
fun here.
both the guests have frozen, right?
I think
Okay,
can you hear me?
Rohan's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
I can hear you.
I feel he'll go with Matic probably because after his performance against Burnley, fantastic performance. I mean, the weightage of his passes were too good. I mean, he controlled
Yeah,
that
Matic
game
was
with
class.
Pogba. Matic
Yeah,
and Fred. I think Matic and Fred will be they'll hold the midfield. Pogba on the left, Bruno. I don't see Cavani starting because he just played, and then you have another game. I mean, he has had injury
I
problems,
feel
so
I feel Cavani may start the FA Cup. There is more of a chance him starting the FA Cup
yes,
than him starting in the
yes,
league.
yeah.
Cavani I
We
feel
need, we
वही
need
होगा वो
Martial.
60 मिनट्स के बाद वाला सब होगा जो 70th मिनट में
Yeah.
वो लोग अपना कस्टमरी सब लाते हैं. Bruno
We
again
need
says
Martial.
Dan James. Sorry, Ron. Bruno just says Dan James just runs. Other than that, he offers nothing, bro. Don't lower expectations. Playing players like James. We have some quality players. I cannot disagree.
I genuinely hope this is Bruno Fernandes. I mean, this would be like the most legit.
No point in playing Dan James. Oh my God, he is on fire, Bruno. No point in playing Dan James. To be honest, Dan James is regressed. It's a disgrace if you play a player of Dan James' quality against one of the biggest Northwest derby.
But
Oh, the
United
quality
ने
players
गलती
he's
कर दी
talking
वैसे.
about is Martial. Then he goes, bruv, Pogba. Pogba plays as a sort of a false left winger, not exactly a
Yeah.
left winger.
Yeah.
And he goes
Yeah.
like, Matic, Fred, oblique Fred squad will hold tomorrow. Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
And also,
Matic,
if
Fred.
I would like
I
to
hope-
round up all the comments.
Yeah. I
Akshay is
hope
already
Mason
given his
Greenwood. I hope Mason Greenwood, Marcus Rashford, David De Gea, all of them to join. It's just Bruno, yeah. We need more players to join.
Bro, he's doing
I-
everything right now.
I
So,
want Martial to start.
yeah, Akshay has given
I
his
want Martial to start.
Akshay has given his prediction as nil all. So that about sums up all of our comments here. So guys, quickly, could you each of you give me your starting 11s? We can start with Rohan and then go to Shivam and then Pratmesh. Post that, we can have a discussion around your predictions. That's the real tough task there. So that to actually round up our preview. So Rohan, the 11 that you would want to start along with the formation.
Along with the formation, the 11, David De Gea, no doubt. Wan Bissaka, Maguire, Bailey, and Bailly and Luke Shaw for me.
Yeah.
Back four. Then Matic and Fred as holding midfielders. Left midfield will be Paul Pogba. Cam will be Bruno Fernandes, and that right wing has to be. I think he'll play Marcus Rashford, and up top it has to be Martial because there's no better player than Martial to hold the ball up. In my opinion, and he's better than Cavani as well. At
Agreed,
times I feel.
agreed.
At times I really feel because Cavani is
Yeah,
makes me think more of Mr. Roy.
यूनाइटेड टीम में आई फील मार्शियल और लुक शॉ को बहुत जबरदस्ती का हेट मिलता है, बहुत जबरदस्ती
unnecessary criticism. Unnecessary criticism. The thing is, with Martial, I'll just add one more point. He's not playing bad. The goals are not coming.
Yeah.
He's not playing bad.
Yes.
He's combining very well.
Yeah.
And this is the thing that if you don't score a goal, if you don't make an assist, if you don't make a final pass, make a pass in the final third, the fans will jump on his back. But if you watch
Yeah.
Martial, he's so important. is very important. You take out Martial, this team cannot hold the ball up. This team cannot create chances. Bruno has no, he cannot create chances. Martial is the one. He'll move on the left. He'll move on the right. He'll take the center position. He's a very clever player. And if
Just
he's
just to just to reiterate your point, Rohan, Martial hasn't been scoring goals, but his contribution to the game is so good and goes unnoticed.
and
It's
goes unnoticed.
No
absolutely
wonder,
true.
no wonder his brother agrees, right? No wonder his brother
Bruno
agrees.
is like the soul sister of Sound of Manchester right now.
seriously,
So, Rohan, I
Yeah.
missed out on your formation. Is it a 4-2-3-1?
it's a 4-2-3-1. Yeah,
All
he'll
right.
stick with the usual formation 4-2-3-1.
All right.
Yeah.
Shivam, I hope your net stays stable for you to
Yeah,
tell your
yeah.
captain. I know. I
So
saw
for
you. I saw
me,
you. You got
I know.
So
So,
please give us your 11 and
so
your
for
formation as
me,
well.
yeah, for me, Daya, obviously. Then left back Luke Shaw, Harry Maguire, Eric Bailey, and then Aaron Van Bissaka, Matic as a defensive midfielder. My personal
Yeah.
wish is to start with Paul Pogba and Donny Van de Beek, but Ole to never agrees with me.
Realistic
So,
wish, please. Realistic wish.
Yeah.
so it would be Pogba and I guess Scott McTominay because Matic अगर खेल रहा है तो Fred and Matic quite similar players, left-footed midfielders. So that would be Scott McTominay and Paul Pogba. Bruno as a cam, and the two forwards would be Rashford and Cavani because Martial is like not 100% fit, so he might not start. He might come on as a super sub or something. So let's see. So
Yeah.
All right.
Diamond,
Super sub
Okay.
just
You
gives us
want a
those
4-2-3-1?
memories.
yeah, yeah, the debut goes.
Yeah.
Pratmesh, your starting lineup and the formation.
Man, I seem to have gotten some word from Bruno Fernandes regarding Dan James. He doesn't agree with me. So definitely going to kick him out for the current scenario.
I can
But
see Pogba and Bruno interchanging tomorrow and causing havoc at the inside right channel. Sorry, inside.
yeah,
Oh,
that
he
would
meant
be
inside left channel. That's why I was a little confused. How could it be the right channel? He
Yeah,
said he has put in another comment saying left.
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I expect tomorrow. I don't think backfire is going to change for anyone. I think it'll still be De Gea, Luke Shaw, Maguire, Bai, and Van Bissaka. I expect Matic and Pogba in midfield because I feel against the Liverpool midfield, Wijnaldum, Henderson, or Jones, and Thiago. Who Thiago is the only one I feel who has a little bit of bite in him. Otherwise, all of them are just ये bando or bhago. So basically,
Mhm.
in that sense, I
Thiago,
feel
we need to put a man mark Thiago, right, Pratmesh? Don't you think?
yeah, yeah.
yeah, I think, and I feel it would be good if someone like in that sense, you could also say that we could put in McTominay, just probably to do that job. But again, McTominay is not really good in the man marking job. I feel Fred would be better in that case.
Mhm.
So kind of confused there, but I feel it would make more sense if Fred and Matic start because obviously Fred has improved a lot from what we saw him playing at Anfield last season as well. Uh, Obviously, a few jitters that he would like to get rid of at Anfield. I think Fernandes, Pogba, and Rashford would make a good three in midfield, attacking midfield rather. I think Rashford would be selected at the right. I think one thing which I could just I was thinking while we were talking about this right now, and I felt his work rate against Andy Robertson would be important, and obviously his trickery as well. Pogba in that inside left channel along with Fernandes, as Bruno Fernandes here says that they would be interchanging. I would make a lot of sense. Trent wouldn't know where to go. First of all, whom to mark and
Yeah,
where to go. And in that scenario, that allows Luke Shaw to actually overlap and exploit that space. So that would be a
Yes.
good one. And my personal choice to start at center forward in this game would be Cavani. If not Cavani and Martial's not fit, so I'm not going to start with Martial. If not Cavani, Greenwood because I feel he's a more natural finisher. He's someone
Mhm.
if we get that one chance, he has that capability of dribbling with the ball. He
Finding
has the
another thing.
capability of finding the spaces, and obviously he has a good finish in him. We all know that. So that would be good, and preferably Cavani. Going with a 4-2-3-1. I don't know how to call this a 4-2-3-1. I would rather call it a 4-2-2 whatever.
it's a
Four
diamond.
four
हाँ,
two
जो भी.
two two. Yeah. Yeah,
No, that
4-2-2.
the one which you're saying is that Hasanutel's
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
Yeah,
sounds
yeah.
the
yes,
It's
Hasenhuttl
Hasanutel.
tactic. Yeah.
that's
So
what he played at Leipzig as well.
Yeah, Leipzig
yes.
as well.
Yeah, so for me, the lineup, of course, see, ideally, I would like to see a 4-3-3, but I don't think that will happen. So I think United will go in with a 4-2-3-1, or maybe, they might surprise us all. They might go with a 5-3-2. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't
yeah,
put it beyond Ole Solskjaer to do that. I
Yeah.
don't put
Yeah.
it beyond him to tell Luke Shaw ki bhai tu thoda andar aa. Plays Luke Shaw with Harry in the center, Eric on the right, Van
And
Bissaka
Ellis.
and Telles
Ellis.
overlapping as wing backs. In the holding midfield, if you play a five at the back, then you can probably drop one of Scott or Fred. If
Yeah.
that happens, I would genuinely only drop Scott McTominay, but he loves Scott McTominay, so he might drop Fred
Yeah,
or he
Yeah.
might drop Matic because I think
Yeah.
Fred and Scott McTominay are his favored partnership. So he might play five at the back and then two holding with Scott and
Yeah.
Fred, with
Mm.
Bruno in front of them as the number 10, and the two
Yeah.
up top could be Martial and Rashford by themselves, with Cavani as the
Yeah.
first change in the 70th minute or 65th, 70th minute. Then
Yeah.
because this gives him flexibility after 70 minutes or 60 minutes that he can take out one of the wing backs and bring in the likes of Pogba, Van de Beek, Cavani,
Yeah.
and change the game if you're behind. This is, I feel like one of the best ways of beating Liverpool could be the way we beat PSG in the
Yeah.
autumn, right? I feel
Yeah.
that could be one of the ways he goes with this. So uh, before I come to you guys for your score predictions, I'll just read out we've gotten a few more comments before we wrap up, so I would like to read them out all. Read
Yeah.
them all out. Sorry, just too many guys, I guess, in one day. I sort of agree with Giovanni starting, but if we look to hit pool on the break, Rashi's pace alone won't suffice, I guess. So I see Martial/Mason starting. I honestly see
Yeah.
Martial starting Bruno. I mean,
Even I see.
yeah, I genuinely see. We'll finish off with Bruno's comments first, then we'll come to Rohan's comment. Oh, please, no back at no back at the five, please. It's kind of worked last season against big teams, but we are shambles with back five this season.
Agreed.
Matlab, there are times we've been shambolic, but I don't think this essentially would be a back five. I feel it would
Yeah.
actually be a back three with those two very high up.
Wing backs.
United will try to push their wing backs back. When you push, Liverpool are vulnerable when you push their full backs back. But it's a hell of a difficult task to do that,
Yeah.
to be able to dominate the midfield. So again,
Man.
we're all
Yeah.
speculating, Bruno. You would know better anyway. So please, he says.
Please.
And Rohan has broken the monotony of Bruno comments. He's at least I'm sure that it won't be like Sam Allardyce 6-3-1. You know,
No.
Man,
Rohan,
if
don't be
if we
surprised.
come away with a point, I am pretty sure even the 6-3-1 will make United happy.
Yeah. So he's actually Bruno's further explaining his back five, his issue with back five. He says problem
Yeah.
with back five is the RW, the right wing back position in AWB. That's Van Bissaka. His positioning is so off playing at wing back. I
Yeah.
agree with you,
Completely
and it's
agree.
not just while playing at like in terms of attacking, even while
Yeah.
defending. His
Defensive, yeah.
understanding of the height of the crosses, his understanding of he often loses his marker, which is the left winger for the other team or the left forward for the other team. So
Yeah.
yeah, he is suspect, and there is a reason why United have been consistently linked to right backs in the transfer market. So
Yeah,
And
yeah,
yeah.
that's an issue.
our best right wing back is playing for AC Milan. I don't know how to go ahead
yeah.
with that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, he was not even selected as the substitute left back by the current manager that you have. So
Yeah.
clearly, there is no faith in the
Clearly,
team
there
manager.
is there's no faith in
And for
him.
me,
Yeah.
his only contribution has been that iffy penalty that United ever got at PSG.
PSG.
So,
That's a huge one.
if United are able to recoup the 20 million they spent on him, then I would actually bid him farewell and I
Brilliant.
hope that he makes a
Yeah.
career for himself at Milan. Or
Yeah.
I even heard Barcelona are interested.
Interested, yeah.
I don't know. Maybe मैं किसी और player को देखा 2 साल United पे. I don't know. I didn't
He
see
was
it.
not good that.
I did
He was
not
not
see
good
it.
at United.
Maybe the pace and the physicality of this league doesn't suit him, and we'll see a completely new player in the more technical leagues. I would not like to insult, Serie A or La Liga by saying they're not, they don't have any pace, but they clearly don't
Yeah.
have that level of intensity and pace as United, as not
Yeah.
United. Wow. as the Premier
That
League
Premier
does.
League.
Dalot was actually linked before Barcelona signed Sergio Dest. So
Yes,
they
Yeah.
have got
and
a very
Serginho
attacking
Dest.
right back now.
Serginho Dest, he's been decent with Barca. I don't think he's been that bad. I
Yeah.
think he's earned good reviews from what I
Yeah,
hear.
he's
Yeah.
very
Anyway,
young.
yeah,
But
he
but
often
for me,
this is a Mark Goldbridge type comment. Okay, he often holds hands with his corresponding RCB. It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
They do play ringer roses a lot.
That that
Uh,
that
but
is
for
that is
but for Mr.
but
Mourinho, he was the best right back
yeah, yeah,
in
correct, correct,
best
correct.
young right back in the
Jose said
world.
a
Huh?
lot of things.
For me, yeah.
Jose said a lot of things. Let's leave him there. Good to
Yeah.
see a knowledgeable.
Going on live.
Okay, this will now break down to banter, which we would love it, but that would ideally be a post match show where we have a positive result
Yeah.
to talk about. So, guys,
Yes.
Yeah.
quickly, could you give me your predictions, and so that we could wrap up this particular preview. We'll once again start with Rohan, work our way through Shivam, Pratmesh, and towards myself. Then
Yeah.
mm, I don't want to sit on the fence because I think this is the best chance we can beat Liverpool and end their Anfield, the record which is like dates back to 2017. I am going with a 2-1 victory for United.
2-1.
Confident.
All right,
2-1 victory
great.
for United.
Shivam,
For me, it's 2-0 because I feel really confident going into the game, and like I said in the watch along, it's our destiny to break that record, Anfield record. So
Yeah.
2-0 to United.
यार इतने बड़े शब्द बोल देता है ना तो destiny is all. Anyway,
Man,
Pratmesh.
yeah. Man, I'm just going to upgrade that word destiny. I will say this is written in the stars that United
Oh
have
God,
United have
ये सब
United have
छंदो है बेटा. ये यही
United
सब
have
प्ले
done this
किया
to
जाएगा.
Arsenal. United have done this to Arsenal on 49. Let's
Yeah,
end Liverpool at whatever they are right now.
67.
And 67. So yeah, 67 पे उनको खत्म करते हैं. And
but हम
Oh,
talking about it logically as well.
by the way, you'll be doing your favorite manager a favor if you do that. If
Oh,
they
हमारा
go unbeaten in
हमारा
this match, they break
yeah.
Jose's individual record of 67.
Individual. Yeah.
Oh, then even more motivation, right? Even more
A
motivation.
home
So
record, na?
Yeah,
Jose's home
yeah,
record.
Jose's Chelsea
Home
home
record.
record.
Jose's
So
first तो unbroken था 67, then he came back and then actual तो उसका 83 85 है, but
83,
हाँ.
80 set में 67 था. Then he went
So
and then he came back to जो था.
so yeah, that's the plan. That's the hope. I feel it also has a 2-1 writing over it for United. The defense, I trust Liverpool's attack more than that to not go goalless at Anfield. But I also trust hopefully the referee and the VAR so that we have a salty penalty at Anfield and we score that, and that ends up to be the match winner so that Jurgen Klopp can throw whatever he wants at Bruno's face, but then Bruno can just show that smile and say we won.
फुल
You know,
टाइम
you know
विसल
what?
के बाद
You know
मतलब
what?
अच्छा है, फुल टाइम विसल के बाद पेनल्टी मिले तो ज्यादा अच्छा है. ब्राइटन गेम
Brighton
बहुत
वाला.
मजा आएगा.
Prathamesh, the thing is, you're saying that written in our stars. The last time I read or I came across something, I don't remember. The last time
Yeah.
we defeated Liverpool at Anfield was 17th January 2016.
16, yeah.
16.
माटा
And yeah,
Mata.
no, not
That was,
Mata, Wayne Rooney.
yeah,
Wayne
Wayne
Rooney
Rooney.
scored that goal.
Wayne Rooney
The
scored
one,
a
right.
correct.
the
Yeah,
Yeah.
one,
A
yeah,
free goal
yeah.
off a corner or a free kick. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Fellaini's header came off the post and Wayne Rooney smashed.
yes. Wayne Rooney.
Yes.
Tomorrow,
So
17th
that
of
was
January.
17th of January 2016. So
Talk
just
about
to yeah
Stars,
talk about
horoscope.
writing on the stars.
मैं कह रहा हूँ ना
yeah
स्टार्स, हॉरोस्कोप, एस्ट्रोलॉजी, एस्ट्रोनॉमी, हाथ की लाइनें, सब कुछ पढ़ लो, माथा पढ़ लो, सब कर लो. I hope we get a result there. I hope we get the result that we're all hoping
हाय
for.
हार गए
I
तो यही वीडियो
I don't
ट्रोल
want to
करेंगे
rain on
लोग.
the parade but I just feel like itni positivity, there needs to be a semblance of normalcy there. So I'll just say I can see a draw, but unfortunately I can also see a Liverpool victory because it's just backs to the wall and it's just a matter of result. All I want to see is United putting in a performance wherein they fight with this team, because at this moment this depleted Liverpool I don't think is better than us. Of course, with their all their first teamers back, they are better than us. I am not going to ever deny that. And also, I'm so proud of the channel and so proud of all of you guys. Not once did we mention Klopp and his nonsensical comments, which is fabulous. I'll just take the last 3 comments, boys, and then we'll head out. We've anyway exceeded the time. We never really are able to stick to it.
Yeah, and
Bruno's Pratnesh, just a second. Bruno's come up with 2 very interesting questions, but Bruno, please excuse us for not discussing them on this particular video. We'll make sure we note your questions down, and the very next video on the SOM that we do, we'll address these 2 questions of yours. The questions for our audience are, guys, what's your take on the Donny situation? Probably not the question at this time right now. We're playing so good, but seriously, is he happy sitting on the bench this season? The second question goes like I see excuses that like he's a player bought in advance, he's a player for next season, etc., etc. But how is it okay to waste one prime year of one of the most talented young lads in Europe in the recent times? Yeah, Bruno, it is not acceptable. It is not acceptable at all, the treatment that he's gotten. But I was just trying to compare stats. If you actually compare stats, when we bought Telles, he was amongst the top 5 left backs in Europe. उसका मिनट्स ब्रूनो से सॉरी नॉट ब्रूनो से उसका मिनट्स डॉनी से थोड़े से ज्यादा है. Only a few more minutes he's got than Donny, but no one's really talking about that because it's not as much of a sexy signing as Donny was, right? And because he doesn't have a Porto machinery behind him like Donny has the Ajax machinery. I've been really disappointed with the manager, the treatment that he's gotten, but at this point the man who is playing in his position, he can't displace Paul Pogba right now because Paul Pogba is probably in the best form he has ever been at Manchester United. So let's just keep using Paul Pogba till the time we can use him, and then let's just bid our farewell and give the position rightfully back to Donny, which we all saw in the middle of the season. He was fantastic for that patch of 7-8 games that he played when Pogba was out for an injury and then was benched as well. Mojo says, we will need to be at our super best, but after long times, it seems we can go and beat Liverpool. Exactly what Rohan said, Mojo. I agree with you. Absolutely agree with you. Pratmesh on Sound of Manchester is as positive as me on TSD. Rohan, I think you found a brother in arms today.
Yeah, and my blood group is Rohan.
Rohan. And Bruno says, cheers, lads. Cheers, Bruno. Absolutely lovely to have you on board, and giving us your comments, your insights into the game.
Who score an assist at Anfield and Old Trafford in the next week?
I couldn't care less. Bas jita de kaise bhi. That's all.
Seriously.
Yeah.
One more.
Yeah. Once
and
again.
Yes. While we were talking about Bruno, and one thing that we promised and we should mention while we wrap up is Bruno MVP Fernandes. The reason that he's the MVP is won 4 calendar year awards for the Premier League Player of the Month. 4 in a calendar year is a Premier League record. And the other player who has won 4 Premier League awards is, Cristiano Ronaldo. So
sure thing, I won't disappoint you guys on the pitch. But the also thing is, he's the only player ever in Premier League history to win four POTMs within a calendar year. And
Kevin De Bruyne has won 0 Player of the Month award.
I'm not even talking about the comparison. I just fine. Rivals can keep underestimating. तो मैंने शुरुआत में कहा था ना, happy with all this underestimation. That is my favorite thing that's happening right now.
Yeah, let us be
underdogs. Just so that you guys know, they're not good enough.
Yeah.
No, let's carry that agenda to the end of the race. Bruno also says, sure thing, guys, won't disappoint you guys. Sure thing, I won't disappoint you guys on the pitch.
Yes.
Bruno, we are really hoping for that. Rohan, once again, thank you so much for joining, man. We hope to see you. We hope to see you for many more such sessions, and more importantly, we hope to be able to celebrate with you. Even if it is virtually, celebrate a fantastic performance and a fantastic result tomorrow. Shivam and Pratmesh, as ever, thank you so much for joining. It was fantastic, guys. To the viewers, we did get a few viewers, we did get a few comments, and we're very grateful to all of you. Please do share the particular video around. This is our preview. When can we see the next stream, guys? Is what Bruno's asking. Bruno, I think Pratmesh, next stream would be Monday, right?
Next stream would be Monday after the whole celebration or lack of it would be done. on Sunday night, whatever
Also,
it is,
also,
and
yeah.
also on Kushagra's birthday. So a birthday special by
Oh,
Kushagra is definitely expected on
हार
Monday.
गए
So
तो
Bruno
आएंगे नहीं हम लोग, हार गए तो
हार गए तो मैं
आएंगे
तो
नहीं
नहीं
हम लोग,
जाऊंगा, मैं क्यों कमाऊंगा?
मैं भी
and
नहीं ब्रो.
and
All right.
and yeah. So Bruno, after you score a goal at Anfield, we will talk to you on Monday. And from my end, and obviously from TSD's and SOM's end as well. One last thank you to Wayne Rooney for
And
all
all the
his
very best.
Legend.
achievements and all the very best as the manager of Derby County. And as Shivam said, hopefully he's the man who gets Derby in the Premier League so that we can rub it in certain Englishmen's noses.
Yes, definitely.
All right. Thank you so much, guys. And just a last comment for Bruno. I'm scoring a 90 plus 4 pen tomorrow. बस
We'll be going mad.
ब्रूनो ऐसे
बस
ना
यही चाहिए.
practice में headshot. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Do keep it locked to the Sound of Manchester for all things Manchester United. We'll be back with you guys on Monday. The timings and the live broadcast schedule will be notified to you guys well in advance. We are so happy and thankful that you guys joined this particular live session. Do share it around with your friends, family, and anyone and everyone who does have any sort of an interest in football and Manchester United. Do keep it locked to Sound of Manchester, and we'll see you soon.